What's good, people? It's the Quant Edge video series presented by Fantasy Sports Markets. He, of course, Derek Brown, he of thequantedge.com. Myself, I'm Ben Heisler over with Fantasy Sports Markets. It's your favorite time of the week. It's time for us to go over our favorite cash and GPP plays for the week, primarily at fantasysportsmarkets.com. And if you want to use them elsewhere, we'll certainly understand. So let's start at the quarterback spot, Derek. Your favorite cash GPP quarterback. Hi, your favorite cash quarterback of the week is whom?
It's going to be Josh Allen. I think the floor is definitely there. I don't see any way that he possibly goes under 20 points this week. So I think with his floor and his upside, I'm going to go with Josh Allen.
I'm going to take Lamar Jackson going on the road to Kansas City. He has played there before. He is not fazed by going to Arrowhead, and clearly he's going to have to do a lot in this game for Baltimore. A little bit concerned about whether or not Hollywood Brown is going to play, but I expect him to. He still has plenty of options in the passing game. You can always use his legs as well. I'm a big fan of Lamar Jackson in week number 3. What about for GPP plays at the quarterback spot? Who do you like?
I like Matt Ryan. I think he goes under on this week. I think he's in a smash spot. I'm all in on Julio. So if you like Julio, you got to love some Matty Ice.
There's a quarterback that did not have a particularly good week last week that I'm betting on a bounce back spot this week, and especially because we love one of his running backs and one of his wide receivers. Give me Phillip Rivers at home this week against Houston as one of my favorite GPP quarterbacks on the slate. I expect him to bounce back, have a lot of air yards opportunities against this Houston defense. At the running back spot, where are you going with in cash?
I think in cash, my guy's got to be Dalvin Cook. His workload every single week is too locked in. We know that he's going to get work both in the pass and the run game versus the Raiders. I mean, they're terrible, Benny. I think that if the Vikings can run the ball all day long, then they're going to.
Kyle Allen is likely getting the start for Carolina up against the Arizona Cardinals on the road. Christian McCaffrey, my cash game running back spot. I actually think he'll be lesser owned than he probably should be because people might have been concerned about his performance on Thursday night. He's had some extra time to get ready, and anytime you have a quarterback that can actually have a decent completion percentage with Cam being hurt, I feel that's always going to be beneficial to McCaffrey, and Norv Turner has admitted that they need to use him more. GPP running back spot, who do you like this week?
If Marlon Mack is out, Benny, I'm going to go with the free square of Jordan Wilkins. I like him a whole lot. I think that he's going to be plug and play if Mack is out into that Mack role, and I think the knee-jerk reaction that most people are going to have is, pass game, Naheem Hines, and I'm not going that way.
I think a lot of people got burned last week by Alvin Kamara, and much of it had to do with Breeze going out and just a really good game plan by the LA Rams. It's a tough matchup on the road against Seattle, but we also saw them get burned in week 1 by the Cincinnati Bengals. I fully anticipate Kamara being a huge part of the game plan moving forward, and I think you can get him, especially on a site like Fantasy Sports Markets, with significantly less ownership than we've seen over the first 2 weeks of the season just because of the Teddy Bridgewater impact. Moving on to wide receiver in cash, who do you like?
Keenan Allen, the floor is sky high and the ceiling's still there. I think, like you're talking about, you love Phillip Rivers. Keenan Allen's going to be one of few receivers to see above a 30% target share. So give me all the Keenan Allen.
One thing that I love is that you can read the 10 stats you need to win article for free at thequantedge.com. And I learned about Matt Ryan just being dominant against zone coverage. He's going to Indianapolis. It's a terrific matchup for him. So I will take your GPP quarterback, pair him with my cash game lock at wide receiver in Julio Jones. It's another terrific matchup for Julio. Size matters. Every inch matters. As referenced in your story, give me Julio over in this game as a cash game wide receiver. What about on the GPP side? Who do you like?
I think a great pivot off of Chris Godwin chalk is going to be Kenny Golladay. I think he sees a few long touchdowns in this one against an Eagles secondary that cannot run with him.
Jimmy Smith for the Baltimore Ravens missed practice again on Friday. If he is out, we saw what happened when Brandon Carr has to move to the outside. You can burn the Ravens in the slot. Everybody that was looking at the Kansas City tape is going to see Demarcus Robinson with 2 touchdowns and 6 catches last week. McCole Hardman also had 2 touchdowns, but one of them, a 72-yarder, got taken away from a holding penalty. I think if he's the guy in the slot, it is a great matchup for him against Baltimore, and you know that Mahomes can put the ball wherever he wants, unless, of course, he's throwing to Damian Williams. But that's a conversation for another time. Tight end cash. I'm not bitter about it at all. Finally, tight end cash. Who do you like this week?
Well, to piggyback off of what you're talking about, Mahomes, I don't want to be bitter either, so I'm going to go back to Travis Kelce and think that Mahomes, instead of throwing no-look passes, he's actually going to stare down Travis Kelce when he needs to and fire some touchdowns to him.
Yeah, you and I are in lockstep agreement on Kelce. Just if you're going to exploit Baltimore, it's in the middle of the field. Kelce is going to be able to do that as well. Finally, at the GPP spot, at the tight end spot, who do you like?
Evan Ingram, I love him this week. I think that not many people are going to want to play him considering Danny Dimes, and they're like, yeah, the rookie, I don't know what we're going to do. And you go with Evan Ingram, no. And it's going to be to Evan.
All right, fair enough. I like Evan Ingram as well. Maybe you can roll the dice a little bit with Darren Waller if you're trying to exploit Minnesota in the middle of the field, but just another tough matchup there. So there you have it. Those are our cash and GPP plays. Make sure you head on over to thequantedge.com. Use the promo code POWERHOUR to get you 25% off the rest of your season subscription over at thequantedge.com, and then use that great knowledge over at Fantasy Sports Markets. Enter in any of our NFL contests and compete for over $220,000 in prizes this week for week 3, and of course college contests as well for Saturday as well. For Derek, I'm Ben. Thank you guys for watching. It is the Quant Edge video series presented by FantasySportsMarkets.com.